Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Civil Gore Podcast. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian, and we have part 2 of our Discmemberment for September, and this one was like so backloaded to weird. Like the first like 2 weeks are pretty like run-of-the-mill titles, here. But like all the stuff you usually love about the Dismemberments with like crazy titles and weird features and things, and that seemed to all be in this little 2-week chunk here, so sit back and I think you'll enjoy this episode. There's some wacky titles.
This Dismemberment is all movies you've already seen or you will never see.
Yeah, it's like I've never seen just like an imbalance. Like it's like one or the other. Well, give or take. Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. Like next week, there's a couple in there that we might that doesn't fall into, but like the majority of it.
Yeah, it's a really. There's something for everybody, put it that way.
Yeah, and something for nobody. But,
yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's get right into it. These are our releases for September 20th. As you're hearing this, these are the Blu-rays out on the shelves today. And I will mention first, we do have a original King Kong, 1933 reissue coming out from Warner Archive today. And Kino Lorber's putting out those fantastic Outer Limits Season 1 and Season 2 sets again. So if you missed those the first time around, I have the Season 1 set. I do need to pick up Season 2 while it's being reissued. Great sets.
Was there only 2 seasons of Outer Limits, or was there more?
I believe so, yeah. I think there's only 2.
I'm surprised they don't have like a 1 box set, but...
Yeah, but they're really nicely produced sets, so definitely worth your time and money. All right, let's get right into it. September 20th. The first one up here is Crawl 4K, coming in from Paramount 2019. A young woman, while attempting to save her father during a Category 5 hurricane, finds herself trapped in a flooding house and must fight for her life against alligators. And of course, if you have not seen this, definitely well worth your time. It's a crazy premise, but it's pulled off really well. And it's one of those movies, like, I thought that I might get too distracted by the weird, crazy premise, but somehow they make it work. It actually is a very entertaining movie.
And, Tim, it has a Civil Gore like legend in it. Of course, if you don't remember, we just discussed him today in our text feed, and that's Barry Pepper. Barry Pepper's also in Crawl, along with the awesome Kata Scodelario.
Yeah,
really good too. But yeah, this one features like a very brave, heroic Barry Pepper. He's in the picture.
How can I forget Barry Pepper?
I know he's in the picture. It's a wonderful picture. Barry Pepper. That's so funny, though, that if this had to be this way after that whole thing today in our text.
We had a whole text thread about Barry Pepper and hey, popcorn.
Hey, popcorn.
And all the other...
popcorn.
all the other Civil Gore inside jokes we have.
Which I think there's a new one that Tim said he was laughing at all day, which was Sydney in pain. Sydney heart hurt.
I've been laughing about that all week after we talked about Incredible Shrinking Woman on the Invisible Man episode yesterday. So I've just been laughing about it.
Yeah, now you have to watch that movie again, though, and now you'll.
I was trying to find it today to watch it again. I was looking for clips of it. I need to watch it again because I used to love that movie. I watched it all the time.
But they do have the Blu-ray for it. I mean, there is a Blu-ray out there for it.
Yeah, I probably should grab that.
Was it Arrow? I think, I don't know. Conan and I went in on we ordered a couple so we could get the shipping ones. So I don't remember what it is.
I'm almost afraid to watch it because I think Brian's interpretation of the line is probably what makes me laugh more than the actual quote.
Well, you can. Okay, if you want, you could rent it. Like it's on. It's rental for like $4.
It would be worth it just for that.
I know, just for Sydney in pain. Sydney heart hurt.
I don't know why.
And the thing is, the funniest thing is, like, can't even tell you. That line should have never been repeated as much as it did between me and my friend Mark. And now that you're in the fold on it, this is like it's taken a whole new life, just like Fruit Please. Where now this will always be said. Although hearing that Sydney heart hurt in the wild, like Fruit Please we did, probably is never going to happen.
No, that one's not. That one's not going to naturally, spontaneously erupt into conversation like Fruit Please did.
Yeah, that needs to be like you need a little like a bait to get that one out. But I still think that the Fruit Please was hilarious because it was so like it was like so natural, and it like still happened, but it was like.
Oh, that's legendary. Oh,
Yes.
that might be the best thing that came out of that entire arc.
Yeah, it was definitely a letdown is not the right word. It definitely wasn't as magical as the first one, just because I think we didn't know what to expect, and I don't think we expected and I think the whole the crowd wasn't a big a crowd this time, but probably still because of COVID, like had some ramifications of that, I guess. Remember, it was really empty.
Yeah. Well, I think the first time you ever do something, that's been my first Halloween Horror Nights was the best one.
Yeah.
My first HorrorCon was the best one. My first Gen Con was the best one. Yeah. I think it's the novelty of it. After you kind of know what to expect, I don't think you can help but. Again, like you said, not disappointed because you still have a blast.
Oh my God, we had the best time.
But it's not the same as that novelty, that wonder of the first time doing it.
I will say the only kind of event like that, I think that was better the second time was Halloween Nights, because I think we had more people come with us, more of a group the second time, and it was definitely more planned into a
That's
event.
fair, yeah. That's probably a fair.
And it was kind of like paired. Remember, a week right after the Carowinds meetup, so there was just it was almost like a 2-week thing. So it was kind of added to the Halloween Nights thing, and that was also the first time I went to Kings Island. Was after that trip, so there was a lot of extra oomph around that one. So that that was a little different, but anyway. Yeah. But anyway, so I think the crawl right. It has a couple special features on there, but
it's got a HDR presentation of the film, intro to alternate opening, deleted and extended scenes, beneath Crawl, Category 5 Gators, the visual effects of Crawl, and alligator attacks featurettes.
I am upset there's no Barry Papa commentary, but
you can't win them all. So
no, you can't have that. But maybe someday we'll get a Barry Papa commentary. Next one is from Universal Studios. Woohoo! We just we haven't had enough of Universal Studios the last couple of weeks. Seriously. But no, I love Universal. Always have. Anyway, and this one's Vengeance from 2022. It says a radio host from New York City attempts to solve the murder of his girlfriend and travels down south to investigate the circumstance of her death and discover what happened to her. This is the BJ Novak vehicle that kind of almost looks like a comedy more than it does horror. I actually, watching the trailer, I really don't see much of a horror in it, other than maybe that it's a murder, but sometimes I feel like that's more horror adjacent. Just because it's murder doesn't necessarily have to be horror, or it's true crime doesn't have to always be horror, so to speak. It's more horror adjacent, and this one looks like definitely more of a comedy. But either way, I think it's already on. I think it's on Peacock too. It's for some reason
I've seen a lot of ads for it.
I think you can actually watch it if you're subscribed to Peacock. It's one of those Peacock premieres this week, I believe. But
next up from RLJ Entertainment, The Reef, Stalked from 2022. After her sister's murder, Nick, her younger sister, and 2 friends seek solace through a Pacific Island kayaking adventure. Hours into the trip, the women are stalked by a shark and must band together, face their fears, and save each other. And as I put in my comments here, this looks like the most generic shark movie setup ever, and yes, I will still watch it.
Yes, well, like Jeff Whitmire says, there's really no bad shark movies. There's only good bad shark movies. And I think it's decent enough looking flick for shark.
I mean, I feel like I've seen this movie at least 3 times already.
But there's only, if you look at it, there's probably only 4 shark movies that exist and 9,800 copies. But it doesn't matter because we'll still watch them.
That's right.
Because a shark, like I said, shark movies, you can throw them in the air, put them in a tornado, do whatever you want with them. They're still fun. This gave me an idea though, actually, because I was like, The Reef Stalked. It reminds me of that Corn Stalker's Maze. They need to. That's what I think is the next generation of haunts. Like, I think they need to do like extreme haunts on that level where literally maybe you go in as a scuba team and you're down there and the haunt is like beneath the water. Imagine how cool that would be. Or something like that. Or literally, it's on a moving subway, and you're really going from stop to stop, but there's a whole haunt. They kind of reserve an entire subway line, but just the one train that goes back, to do. That's what I think they need, real things to do, and then put a haunt around it.
Yeah, that reminded me though. There's I've been watching the American Horror Stories anthology series. this latest season had. I'm going to tie two things together here, Brian.
Nice.
I'm gonna tie shark movies in with underwater haunts. So they had an episode called The Lake, and it starred Alicia Silverstone, and she was in that recent shark movie, Requiem. I think it was called. Was it Requiem?
Requiem. Yes.
And so she was in that, and it's kind of it starts off kind of like that haunted house underwater movie we watched that I can't remember the name of now.
The Deep House.
The Deep House. It starts off like that because there's a whole village underneath this lake, and her husband like has something to do with it. But I don't know. I can't remember the whole plot line, but I just remember the episode. It just kind of ties into both of these. But you're right.
Her husband has something to do with it. I don't know why they just made me laugh.
That shows you how memorable the episode was, unfortunately. But Alicia Silverstone, at least she's getting into the horror game a little bit more. Well,
yeah, she was also. Remember what was the one she was in? The Lodge. She was in.
Yeah,
she came back,
she's been in a lot of them. Yeah,
she's coming back, like very sneaky, but coming back.
And she's really good in this one. And but what you were talking about, like renting out a subway, like what if you rented out? What if you did like that movie we saw where it took place in the World War II bunker, where it was all like narrated?
Yeah,
like you could have do a full RPG, like live, like there's characters walking around that you can talk to, kind of thing, but make that a haunt. How cool would that be?
They really go like you see in the movies and horror movies when extreme haunt is just like more of what you see. Or like that nightmare haunt you hear about where they like shove stuff in your face. I'm not talking about that. When I say extreme, I'm talking about extreme haunt where it's like a real life situation kind of thing. Where it's like, it almost feels like a version of your life, kind of something that could actually happen because it's kind of happening, just with the haunt. And I'm trying to think of other ones like imagine one where this one I could never do, but imagine one where it literally takes place on a plane and it finishes with you having to skydive. It's just like all these crazy things. Like I think that would be really cool though. I couldn't do it because I don't think I could ever skydive. It's like the way I handle a normal seatbelt. I can't imagine pulling a ripcord and with any kind of confidence.
That would be crazy though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, imagine doing all those things like that. That'd be really cool. But. Yeah. All right, someone will steal that idea for us, but that's fine as long as it happens. It gives joy to people. Next one is definitely one I've actually ordered. It's arriving tomorrow as we speak. So as today for you guys, it's today. And that's Cursed Film Season 2. And this one, Tim and I both agreed. We were kind of in agreement that we kind of like the format, little tweak of Season 2, where they kind of almost went into the little more behind the scenes of the whole thing, and they almost to a point where they kind of semi debunked the curse things, but to go into more in depth filming of it, and I like that.
They really refined the format of it. They made a much better documentary. Season 2 is way better than Season 1. I thought, because Season 1 they were kind of stretching to kind of justify the cursed film thing, and so they were trying to almost I don't want to say they were almost using filler to try to justify the fact that this was a cursed film and that was being presented. In Cursed Film Season 2, they kind of stopped doing that and said, you know what, look, these are movies that have some kind of cult, either curse or supernatural or dark thing around them. So we're just going to tell you all about this movie. And they don't try to justify it. They just come up with it. Reminded me a lot of some of the ones you've seen on Netflix, like the how Toys That Made Us and Movies That Made Us. Those kind of movies. It's more that format, which I really, really like. Not without the humor, of course, of those, but it's a great series. They did one on Wizard of Oz. So, that's not really known as a quote-unquote cursed film.
Yeah.
But there's some weird things that people have come up with about it that it was a fascinating that Wizard of Oz episode might be the best of the whole series.
I agree. And then think about it, it's not even a real horror movie, so it's
so
it had obviously it scared kids. There's scary sequences for kids, but definitely not a horror movie.
Highly recommend that if you have Shudder. If you don't have Shudder, pick it up on the Blu-ray because it's well worth it.
Yeah, I picked it up because I have the first one, first season. I wanted to grab the second one. I grabbed it. It was $12 or something like that.
Yeah, they're not expensive. The RLJ are really budget price because they usually don't put a lot of extras and stuff on them.
Yeah.
All right, next up from Shout Factory, we have Post Mortem from 2020. A photographer, an ex-soldier of the First World War, goes to a small village to capture the images of dead family members with alive relatives, as it was frequent at the time. In a place that had many deaths because of the Spanish flu and unable to bury their dead due to the frozen land, the village is in the hands of unfriendly ghosts. The man is going to try to help them. This looks really cool. I love historic films that have ghost stuff in it. And I love the old-timey corpse photos where they used to prop the dead relative up and take these pictures. I find them fascinating and creepy as hell. And a movie centered around that concept just looks amazing. This looks really, really good.
Yeah. This one looks like good trailer for this too.
I totally missed this one. I mean, this came out 2 years ago. I totally missed.
Yeah,
I didn't say anything about it.
Yeah, and it's like went right to like kind of a Shout Factory release, which is
and it's not a huge release. It's got some deleted scenes and an original trailer. That's it for this one.
Yeah, but still pretty cool. Next one we have is Scorpion releasing, and this one's Dr. Death, Seeker of Souls from 1973. It says John Considine plays the flamboyant Dr. Death, a 1,000-year-old magician who has mastered art. I know Tim just copies and pastes. So.
I just copy and paste.
Yeah, it's not his fault, but no, it should be but it was a typo. The art of transferring souls from one body to another, and thereby manages to perpetuate himself by jumping from one body to the next. Apparently, the doc is a kindred spirit since his blood is a highly corrosive acid that can strip flesh from bone.
So he's part xenomorph. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
That makes sense. We got it. Tim says it's the kind of movie he likes to put on at random. I agree. Yeah, this one definitely looks fun. It had one of those classic style trailers with that voice, that booming voice and everything. It's like everything you used to love about those old time trailers is in this.
This trailer's like 30 seconds long, where they pack a lot into it.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a lot of special features, but it's got some decent ones. So of course it was previously restored from the original camera negative. Then it has an audio commentary by star John Considine. I guess Considine?
Yeah, Considine.
Yeah. Dr. Death Commands, an interview with John Considine. It says, remembering Eddie Sayeta, interview with the director's son, Steve Sayeta. I guess his father passed away, so that's nice. His son took the mantle to do this interview. A TV spot and a limited edition O-card slipcase.
All right, this next one we really got to talk about.
Wow.
Oh, man. Mondo Macabro.
Yeah.
In the Folds of the Flesh, 1970. In a genre defined by shocking violence and psychosexual kink, it remains perhaps the most over-the-top giallo in Eurocult history. Oh, that's all you had to say.
Yeah.
Former MGM starlet and doomed James Dean paramour Pier Angeli, 2 decades past her Golden Globe Award for Most Promising Newcomer and just 1 year before her tragic death, stars in this ultra-lurid epic packed with decapitations, pet vultures, creepy incest, groovy fashions, cyanide baths, swirly psychedelics, inexplicable plot twist, Nazi death camp flashbacks, and more. Which that just sounded like an entire Joe Bob rundown.
Yeah.
But,
can I ask you a question? What other type of incest is there?
Besides creepy?
Creepy. I mean, really, there's not much.
Is there a non-creepy incest?
I don't think there's. Usually that's the adjective or.
And of course, you got the naked women and Nazi genre, which is always a fun one. This one, like I said, this trailer is a journey. It's like 3 minutes long, 3.5 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had watched the entire movie. It's a journey.
The best is when the guy says, all of a sudden, out of the blue, first of all, you hear screaming and stuff, and the dialogue's just going on in the background. It doesn't even match half the time with what's on. But then all of a sudden, this booming voice comes and he goes, how about a beautiful woman digging a grave for her fellow man, better known as Andre? What does that even mean? Fellow man, I'm thinking like mankind. But apparently they meant a specific man, and his name is Andre.
And the editing is so crazy in this. It's just random. It's like the editor just took the film and balled it up and threw it into like a paper shredder, and they just stuck it together. It's a heck of a trailer. I want to see this movie. Though.
Yeah, me too now. But what is that like? That thing they do? It's like they do those things you see online that the random script generators where they'll take like characters and then like someone did that for Star Wars for like Rise of Skywalker. They did like a script generator. Like to make a new version of Rise of Skywalker, and they did that. Like that's what I feel like they did that with the trailer. It's like
it's It looks like one of those trailers that's created by an AI that's not very good.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so random. So random. Okay, well, the
speaking
next
of
one,
random.
Speaking of the next one, Mando Bakama delivers yet again this month. And this one's called A Haunted Turkish Bathhouse from 1975. It says a sly gangster hatches a plot against his own wife who works at a brothel cum bathhouse, spelled C-U-M, not probably unintentionally, with the help of the bathhouse owner's wife. Yeah, like as Tim says, he says classic bait and switch. Come for a Turkish bathhouse. Instead, get a scary ghost cat lady, which was like seriously the first like 40 seconds of this trailer.
She looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah, and she's hissing. So I kind of feel like this was like a Linda Richmond from SNL thing where she went, "This film doesn't look Turkish, nor did I see a bathhouse. Discuss." Because it's really like the creepy Catwoman the whole time, and like with like this kabuki style makeup like that, like really inexplicable. I don't understand why it seems like to describe it with Turkish in there doesn't even make sense because whatever.
If she was a Pokemon, she would be named Kabukity.
Yeah, she would. Totally.
Totally.
And her powers would be confusion. Okay.
Yes.
Because this movie is confusing. Okay.
All right. Next up from Mondo Macabro.
Oh, they're back this month. They're really
they are just killing it this week. Don't Deliver Us from Evil from 1971. Two young convent girls become friends and decide to spend the summer together. However, their innocent bicycle rides and walks in the country soon develop a much more sinister side. Influenced by their reading of forbidden books, they decide to explore the world of perversion and cruelty. They find a victim and use their innocent exterior to seduce and destroy him. Once they have stepped over the line, they find it impossible to stop. And soon they are contemplating the ultimate evil act. Hugely controversial, the film was banned for blasphemy and has never been released in the U.S. before. Wow, I'm really intrigued now.
Isn't it kind of like Heavenly Creatures a little bit?
It sounds like it, but I swear, I think I saw this either in one of the Eli Roths or some documentary or something I was watching had this in it because I remember seeing clips from it.
Yeah, well, there are clips online and like some like extended scenes. I just couldn't find a trailer. So.
Yeah, I saw this recently in something because I remember the name and I remember seeing like footage from it. So I do definitely want to see it. Like it looks intriguing. So I love any 70s movies though, guys.
This one may be tough to find online other than buying the movie. So you might have to buy this one.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, Brian, you have the next from Mondo Macabro.
They just don't stop. I'm sorry, I was looking up actually to see if I could find it online, but I don't think it.
If Tubi doesn't have it, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, seriously. Okay. Oh, yes. The next one is from Mondo Macabro. It's House of Terrors, 1965. It says a man, Chonin Matake, dies crazy after long agony, and his dead body is cremated.
Sydney Harthurt?
And a Sydney in pain. Sydney cremated? No, says, oh God, I see the next running joke till the end of time in Civil War. His widow Yoshi, widow.
Not a window. He doesn't name his
window. He has no window. His widow Yoshi is investigating on the passing. What? This doesn't even read right. Wait. His widow Yoshi investigating on the past of her husband. Okay. Oh, past of. I get it. Okay. I was thinking like passed away. It says goes to the mansion where he has lived, a building leftly nicknamed Satan's Pit. Why do I get these? The suggestive statue of Satan is situated in the atrium in the mansion. And that's in parentheses, by the way, just so you know why it's called Satan's Pit. Managed by a hunchback caretaker, because of course. Soon some visitors reach the house, and hunchback keeper warns, and there it ends. The description, no trailer, no special features, and that's it. You couldn't wait until I read this one, didn't you?
Oh, I'm crying.
It literally just ends like that. That is the most. That may be. I mean, I know we've said this before, but that really may be the most convoluted, frustrating description ever.
That's why I have to copy paste these because if I ever corrected these,
it would
like it would destroy the entertainment value of this podcast. Oh my God! Listening to you read that was the funniest thing.
Well, it literally says, and hunchkeeper warms ... and that's what it says. And we couldn't even get a trailer for that too, which is more frustrating because we only have to imagine this is what's going on.
Good job, Mondo Macabro. That was a good one.
You guys finished off strong. And the scary thing is, those 3 films there aren't even in the top 2 worst or unusual ones, because that's coming next week.
Oh gosh, we got more coming.
Wait till you see what comes next week. Woo.
All right, well, we're going to round this week off with 2 big titles. We chose one of these to be our pick of the week. Honestly, both of them could be pick of the week easily. The only reason I didn't pick this next one as pick of the week is because I've seen it so much lately. I went and saw it in the theater recently. I think I watched it recently, even before that. This is the 4K version of the original Poltergeist from 1982 by Warner Brothers. Of course, a family's home is haunted by a host of demonic ghosts. Another classic in 4K, as Brian says, has a 4K restoration of the film, HDR presentation of the film. They Are Here, the Real World of Poltergeist documentary, the making of Poltergeist, and theatrical trailer. And if you go check our YouTube channel, I did a soundtrack review of this.
Right. Yep.
If you guys are interested in taking a look at that, where I recently got that soundtrack on vinyl. So
also one of the best houses I've ever seen, haunted house I've ever seen.
Yes. Oh, it was amazing.
That
amazing
was great.
House.
And so that brings us to our actual pick of the week. And like we said, it could have flip-flopped easily, but the one we picked was Warner Brothers again, and it's The Lost Boys 4K 35th Anniversary Edition from 1987. Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die. It's fun to be a vampire. Sam and his older brother Michael are all-American teens with all-American interests, but after they move with their mother to peaceful Santa Carla, California, things mysteriously begin to change. Michael's not himself lately, and Mom's not going to like what he's turning into. So, and this is another great 80s classic that they're upgrading to 4K, so those with nice 4K setups, which I should be getting. My next TV will definitely be 4K. Just waiting, in case, because we'll probably be moving at some point. I don't want to buy a TV and then have to figure out how to move it. But anyway, so it says audio commentary by director Joel Schumacher. Lost Boys, a retrospective, an in-depth look at the production of the film. Inside the Vampire's Cave featurette. Vamping Out, makeup effect featurette. Heimster and Feldog, the story of 2 Corys featurette. Oh, Hamster, I guess. I'm thinking Haim, like from the group.
Like
I just watched Licorice Pizza a couple of, maybe 2 weeks ago, and which I thought that was a great film. I heard a lot of mixed reviews on it. I thought it was fantastic, by the way. Bradley Cooper steals the movie. It's on Prime now if you want to check it out. And, of course, that stars the Haim sisters in it. One, I think Danielle is the main one, I think. I forgot their names. But anyway, one of them is the main star of it, and then the other 2 are in it. World of Vampires documentary, Lost Scenes, Lost in the Shadows music video, and theatrical trailer. And as a little bonus, we have a little promo for both those releases, and it's I'm just gonna read it to you now. 80s classics: The Lost Boys and Poltergeist revolutionized the horror movie genre with original storytelling and unmatched cinematic direction. This October, relive the fascination and fear of both. Own Poltergeist and The Lost Boys now on 4K Ultra HD. And as an even more exciting thing, we are actually having a contest. It'll be coming soon, so keep an eye on our social media. And the prize will be The Lost Boys 4K and Poltergeist 4K on digital. So we got a little bundle there for you. And I think we have 3 we'll be able to give away. So we're working right now on the type of contest. I think we want to do it a little bit more fun this time, other than just like and retweet.
Right.
I think we're not sure if we're going to do it a trivia or whatnot, but keep an eye on social media. Hopefully in the next within this week, we hope to announce the contest on there. It'll be definitely more of an interactive thing, because these are great prize. A bundle on digital of these 2 movies you're getting. That's an incredible prize. So we'll definitely be trying to figure out a good contest for that, and we'll announce it in next few days.
Yeah, and then, by the way, the Lost Boys soundtrack, speaking of soundtracks, that just came out. That was just reissued on vinyl, and I'm not talking about the score. It's got some great 80s songs on it. It's of course, Cry Little Sister is a famous theme song from it by Gerard McMahon, but it's got NXS on it. It's got Roger Daltrey, Echo and the Bunnymen. I mean, lots. It's a very cool goth type soundtrack. So if you guys have not listened to the Lost Boys soundtrack, it was one of the best. And I'm not talking about scores. I'm talking about like actual soundtracks. One of the best horror soundtracks to come out of the 80s, in my opinion. So check that one out. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm totally looking forward to that contest. That's an amazing prize there.
Yeah, and we're very excited to be able to participate with that release because as we know, we're very excited for it. So, I guess let's do the little recap, and then we'll move on to the dreaded week 2.
Yeah. So to round out this crazy week, of course, we had Crawl 4K from 2019, Vengeance from 2022, The Reef Stalked 2022, Curse Film Season 2, highly recommend that one, Postmortem from 2020, Dr. Death, Seeker of Souls from 1973, the craziest movie on this list, In the Folds of the Flesh from 1970, A Haunted Turkish Bathhouse 1975, which you have to be pretty weird to out-weird a haunted Turkish bathhouse.
Yeah.
Don't Deliver Us from Evil from 1971, and House of Terrors from 1965. Poltergeist 4K was our runner-up pick of the week, and our pick of the week, mutual, was the Lost Boys 4K 35th Anniversary Edition. And again, we will have a contest coming up soon to own both of those on digital, so definitely be on the lookout for that. All right. Brings us to the week of September 27th, rounding out the month and heading into haunt season. We have an amazing 16 releases this week.
Oh.
And, things heat up when you get into October. Yeah. So just hold on to your seats. The first one up here, going to be a controversial one, I think. Universal Studios.
I'm still going to order it, by the way.
Well, we'll see. The Monsters from 2022. This is the upcoming Rob Zombie vehicle. From writer-director Rob Zombie comes the strangest love story ever told. Lily is just your typical 150-year-old lovelorn vampire looking for the man of her nightmares. That is, until she lays eyes on Herman, a 7-foot-tall green experiment with a heart of gold. It's love at first shock as these two ghouls fall fangs over feet in this crazy Transylvanian romance. Unfortunately, it's not all smooth sailing in the cemetery, as Lily's father, the Count, has other plans for his beloved daughter's future, and they don't involve her bumbling beau, Herman. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll howl at the moon as the monsters make their way to Mockingbird Lane. And I'm going to be honest, I have not been impressed with the trailer.
I know, that's the sad part.
I feel like it's going to be a train wreck, but we'll see how it goes. This one is going to have an audio commentary with director, writer, producer Rob Zombie. And the Monsters return to Mockingbird Lane. From the mind of Rob Zombie, this hour-long look behind the scenes of the Monsters gives an intimate window into his filmmaking process. Watch as he weaves his way through the production and collaborates with the dedicated team to bring his unique vision to life. And Brian, as you know, I've long considered myself a Rob Zombie apologist.
Yes.
Will this be the film that breaks my spirit? I don't know if I can... If this turns out the way I think it's going to turn out, Rob Zombie's got to do something to really regain my trust. I'm just going to say that.
And I have to, it's like as a huge Munsters fan growing up, I feel like I owe it the chance to watch it. So I'm going to watch it for sure. Just to see what happens with it. And I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised. It's just, here's the thing. Nothing against the cast, because I love all the cast that's in it, because they always do great in Rob Zombie films. But is this going to feel like just a Rob Zombie's group and friends and family pretending to be the Munsters? That's the problem.
Yeah, like this a cosplay exhibition or something.
I'm going to have a real hard time separating that fact when you have the same... It's almost like Broken Lizard, when they're in, they're always just all in the movies together and they just play different people, but it's always Broken Lizard. But it's always slapstick comedy and it's always the same shtick and it. So you know that, though. But Rob Zombie now is here trying to do, make a film out of a beloved TV show that probably, that was a bold move coming, for him to do that, for the type of guy he is and the type of director he is to do this type of
and I know he's a fan, but and the thing is here too with Broken Lizard and stuff, I don't have a problem with that when you're doing original material,
right?
But where it gets a little sketchy for me is when you're taking beloved IPs like Halloween or the Munsters and you're pulling your friends and family in for those, even if they're not necessarily the best, might not necessarily be the best for those roles.
Right.
Because then I have a problem with it. If you want to make your own movie with your friends and your family, go for it. But at some point, don't you owe the IP something to, I don't know. I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way.
Right. Now, like I said, we could be pleasantly surprised and he
Oh, and I'm going in with a totally open mind.
Yeah.
As negative as I'm sounding right now, I would love to go into this movie and come out and go, you know what? That was entertaining as hell. I like this movie. I hope that's the case, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of a comparison, and I can't right off the top of my head. I know there's one out there, where like a group of actors that always work together a lot and when take an IP and do something with it. I know that it's out there. I just can't think of it off the top of my head. So I'm wondering though. It's like it's always the risk, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll give it a fair shot.
Yeah,
maybe that might need a round table. Who knows?
Then, that could be an entertaining round table for sure.
Yeah. This should be fun. The next one is Shout Factory's Evil Dead 4K, and that's the 2013 Evil Dead. The one that I thought was, is a decent remake.
It was pretty good. Yeah.
It was definitely there were some it's definitely polarizing in some people's minds, but I thought it was fine as
Well, they didn't try to remake Ash.
Right.
That was really the only thing they had to stay away from. If you just take it as an Evil Dead movie without Ash, it's a pretty good remake.
Yeah. Speaking of that, we got to get back to the game. We only played it that one.
I know. It's a great game. Yeah,
it's such a great video. We got, I know we've said this before. We need to find a way to get get our Twitch channel working. Doing a thing so we can actually stream us playing these games, because first of all, just the dialogue alone between me, Cone, Ken, and Tim all the time are fun. And we told Cody, because I think you play up to 5 players, so Cody wants to play with us, so she's gonna jump in one of these. We told her to get the game, so Cody, touch base with us, let us know if you got it, so we can we'll pick a night.
Yes,
probably won't be. It may not be for a couple of weeks, just the way our schedules are going right now. But with the haunt season, it's tough. But we'll try and set something up and do that, because that'll be fun. But anyway, yeah. But my point being is that I think one of the main character from this is she's either in the game or being added to the game, which is a nice little touch there.
Yeah.
So.
All right, next up we have a really good one from Sony Pictures. I Know What You Did Last Summer 4K from 1997. 3 friends accidentally hit and kill someone while they were driving drunk. They opt not to tell anyone about the murder, and in time they pretend to forget about it. Their crime comes back to haunt them the following summer when they each start receiving mysterious letters from someone who knows what they've done. And of course, this is another Wilmington-filmed horror movie, primarily Southport, which is a ferry ride away from Wilmington. That's a big thing down here, is take the ferry over to Southport, because that's just a big fun thing to do. So
I did not do that when I was there. I have to come back.
That's kind of a local thing you have to do at some point, is take the ferry over to Southport and visit all the little antique shops. But Southport's a lovely little town. And I remember when this was filmed here, because it was a big to-do, and I think one of my buddies was an extra in one of the crowd scenes. So it was a big thing here when it was being filmed. Disc 1 has a 4K Blu-ray. It has a brand new 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative, Dolby Atmos track, all new Dolby Atmos track. New 6 deleted scenes and alternate ending. My Own Summer, an interview with director Jim Gillespie. He Knows What You Did, an interview with Muse Watson. And on Disc 2 Blu-ray, our regular Blu-ray, we have a filmmaker's commentary, director's short film Joyride with optional commentary. Now I Know What You Did Last Summer featurette, music video Hush performed by Kula Shaker in theatrical trailer. So I might have to grab that one. I don't think I have. I may have a bare bones DVD of this. I don't think I have this on Blu-ray, so that might be a worthy upgrade.
Yeah, now I can't remember if I have it. I have them all. I just think it might. You're right. I think I might have I might have it on DVD and not Blu-ray.
And they say that the deleted scenes is a new feature, so those might be brand new deleted scenes that have not been released before. So that's cool.
I wonder. Yeah, I know, because you don't really hear much about any famous deleted scenes from that. So that might be an interest. That might be a selling point right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at my thing. I don't think. Yeah, actually, I don't think I have it on Blu-ray somehow. I only have it on DVD. Well, that's a gaping hole in the monolith there.
Yeah.
Shame,
it's definitely worth an upgrade though.
Yeah. Next one we have is I think this might be a new company, right?
Yeah, I've never heard of this one. Yeah, Visual Vengeance.
And this is our first of 2 double features this week. This one I think is a little bit more on the normal side. Just typical good old low budget. It's Blood of the Chupacabra and Revenge of the Chupacabras. Oh no, they're both chupacabras. I'm sorry, Blood of the Chupacabras and Revenge of the
There's
Chupacabras.
many chupacabras.
Yes, plenty of them. Wouldn't it be chupacabra? But anyway, the first one was 2003. Second one was 2005. It says Blood. A group of local townsfolk are led by It reminds me of remember that cartoon Danger Mouse? Where
Yes.
They started off London. It's
I love Danger Mouse.
Yeah, Danger Mouse was. How has someone not redone that? That would have been cool. Anyway, it says Blood. A group of local town folks are led by a treasure hunter into a nearby mine in search of gold, but encounter a vampiric chupacabra's monster. Revenge. Oh, I see why it said that. Okay, it's Blood because of Blood of Chupacabra. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I'm slow in the uptake today, but Revenge. It says a detective in search of a missing college student is lured by a madman into the lair of the fabled Chupacabra's monster. So this one is very extremely low budget Chupacabra double feature. You know what someone needs to do though is someone needs to do a combination there's always those I see there's a lot of feminine horror products out there. How about a Chupacabras? Maybe
you could sell those at the horror convention all day long.
Yeah, right.
And this is what's weird about this Chupacabra in this one is he looks more like the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, he fly. He looks animated at some points.
It's
weird.
Some
points he looks like a puppet. I can't figure out what the technique they finally settled on for this Chupacabra, but yeah.
Next up from Vinegar Syndrome, we have The Incredible Melting Man 4K from 1977. And Brian, you said it was about the summer when your car's AC was broken. That just happened to Olivia. Her car.
Oh no.
Her AC's been broken most of the summer. We finally got somebody to look at it, and it was a $2,200 air conditioner compressor.
Of course it is.
So
that's what happened to me. In fact, so I was planning to get. I was in the market to get a new car anyway because I've been always trying to get my new car, and so I'm sitting there. This is the frustrating part, right? So I'm sitting there all summer basically with no air conditioning because I'm not spending $1,000 or $1,100 or what it might have been for a compressor, and so I literally was windows open all the time, driving all this stuff, driving only when I go to work, parking underground in the covered garage so the sun doesn't beat down on it. Only to find out that I forgot. It wasn't until I was purchasing my new car, which I do. You'll hopefully get to see it when we're at, because I think we're taking my new car to Busch Gardens. So I got it wasn't until I got the new car and they were trying to do this extended warranty, and I said, no, I think I have it. I think through Geico we have some kind of a extended warranty that's kind of built into our insurance. I realized that technically air conditioning and air conditioning parts were covered under it. I could have got it for $250 just paying the deductible.
You suffered all summer for no reason.
I suffered all summer for that, and then but it's good to know that next time now, if this thing, after my 3-year warranty's up, I guess in this car that I still have another 3 years or something, or 100,000 miles, some crazy thing for the Geico. Now, obviously the insurance warranty is probably not as good as a true extended warranty you can get from a dealership, but still, I mean, I just basically have to pay a deductible, and I'm still not paying $1,100 for a thing. So anyway, lesson learned. Hopefully I won't have the same problem with this car, but
Olivia's her car is paid off, so it's $2,200 sucks, but also not having a car payment's nice. So
yeah.
Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet. Okay, this is a weird movie. While on the back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, I know. Now that you heard me and Brian and Tim's car troubles of the year. Yeah.
While the first ever voyage to the rings of Saturn, an unexplained phenomenon takes hold of astronaut Steve West and his crew, burning all but Steve to a crisp. Somehow able to return to Earth, Steve awakens in a hospital bed only to discover that his body is disintegrating. Worse, he begins to develop an instinctual urge to kill, learning that this is the only way to maintain his strength. After escaping from the hospital, Steve begins to ravage the nearby countryside, brutally murdering all who cross his path and leaving behind a series of mangled bodies covered in his dripping flesh. Which I'll give props to the effects. This is pretty cool.
Yeah,
effects for the time.
The trailer for this looks really fun.
But the trailer for this goes, the first new horror creature. And I was
how could he be the first new?
How could be? Wouldn't the first horror creature be the new? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So anyway, it looks like a fun movie. I'd like to definitely watch this one.
This one I've always heard mentioned all the time, and I've just never seen it.
Yeah, and it's got some great extras here. It's got a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative. Commentary track with writer-director William Sachs. It's a War, 31-minute long featurette interview with William Sachs. Just Show Up, a 15-minute interview with script supervisor Sandy King. Interview featurette with William Sachs and special effects artist Rick Baker. Well, that's why your special effects are so good. Interview with special effects artist Greg Cannon, and original theatrical trailer, still gallery, and reversible cover artwork. So there you go. Looks good.
The next one is by Cauldron Films. They're really good. I like their releases. They were the ones that released that the Possession de Altair that I bought. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I still haven't seen. I really.
You need to see that movie. It's still one of my favorite found footage movies I've ever seen. And I can't stress enough how awesome it is. It's like perfection in found footage. It's like the perfect. It's like everything you love about found footage done perfectly. Anyway, you could see the only place you can really find. I've seen it on YouTube, but it's in Spanish, but with no subtitles. So unless you speak and understand Spanish, you're going to be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah. But yeah, it's never streaming anywhere. And the only reason I found it was through that unnamed found footage festival where I just kind of stumbled upon it. It was just, they just back to back to back.
Well, it figures the best found footage movie you've seen in forever is not available anywhere.
Well, I mean, I always have it on Blu-ray, so I could always we could always one of these times we'll meet up, we'll watch it together. Anyway, so this one is by Cauldron Films. It's called Satyr from 2019, and we actually got a screener from Shudder for this. This was on Shudder for a while, and I remember actually it's really like a slow burn. I liked it, but it's like the trailer makes it look much better than it, like much more sinister than it is. I feel like it looks like it's really super super creepy, and it doesn't have that factor, but it's still good. It holds your interest. But anyway, the description is: secluded in a desolate forest, a broken family is observed by the demon satyrs attempting to claim them. So, but yeah, I mean, it's Tim. I think you will like it. I think you'll like it. Don't go in with like different expectations, I think, than what the trailer shows you.
Yeah.
And I think you'll be fine. Remember, I hadn't seen a trailer. I just kind of watched it from Shudder screener. So, anyway, behind the scenes, Scott on there, director's commentary trailer, mini poster folded, limited edition only. So this poster don't jiggle, it folds. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Of course, anyone that has the internet knows what I'm talking about.
Or kids. Holy
or
God.
Kids, yeah.
I'll hear that song at least 3 times a week.
Oh, yeah. But the best one is the old lady. Did you ever see that one? It's like crazy grandma, where she goes, my money don't jiggle. I'm old. And she's like, she keeps like putting it in there. She's like this old woman. She's like screaming at the camera. It's funny. I gotta send you that link. Anyway, it's also got a high quality slipcase, limited edition only. So. All
right. Well, next up from Vinegar Syndrome, we have The Birds 2 Lands In from 1994. What's this?
Is this where they go over like an outdoorsman injury store?
Now this was, correct my memory if I'm faulty, but wasn't this like a TV miniseries?
You were 100% correct.
Oh,
it was it might have been. I don't know if it was broken up into 2 things. It was definitely a TV movie. I don't remember if they broke it up into 2 parts or not. But yeah, it's very now, and I am not knocking TV series because remember, Salem's Lot is still one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and that was debuted as a essentially a miniseries on TV. But I don't know if that's not in the same same vein as this.
Oh, so here we go. A biology teacher and his wife take their 2 children to an island summer house to enable him to write an important thesis while getting over the death of their son. While they are there, large flocks of birds appear and begin to attack individual humans for no apparent reason. The town mayor, who is also the local doctor, refuses to believe that birds are responsible for the spate of injuries that are occurring, but before long he has no option but to believe as the birds begin attacking larger groups of people. I remember
he's got to keep the Land's End store open because it's 4th of July and all his tourists are coming to go to Land's End. No.
Oh man, I remember seeing this in 94 and I don't remember hating it. I don't remember anything about it, but I don't remember hating it.
Yeah, no, in all fairness, I'd watch it, I'd probably enjoy it at a very like basic level. I mean, if you're going to compare it to the original, get out, like don't walk out the door, turn around. I don't think it's guaranteed to not be at that level, because there's things with Hitchcock. There's just levels upon levels upon levels of messages in his movies and things he's trying to get across there. But this one I'm sure is just pure. Let's capitalize on a very popular horror film, and we'll make it. How many years later than the Birds originally came out? Like 30?
At least 30 years later, yeah.
Something later, and like the name recognition, pure. And we'll probably make it fun, and you'll probably enjoy it, but and you'll probably link it back to the original, making you fonder than this one than you should. But either way, it's probably fun.
I would like to see, this is a little bit of blasphemy, but if you did it without making a direct sequel, I would like to see like a Birds update with the way they could do CGI now and make realistic looking bird flocks.
Yeah,
that would be interesting. Cool. That'd be kind of interesting.
Do you think they definitely make a definitely an interesting twist, because I don't think birds are so as scary as they might have been then, But I think there needs to be some sort of.
Or you could do I guess you could do like an alien type bird. So you kind of do it like A Quiet Place or Bird Box, but they're like alien birds.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, some kind of like hook.
Flock animal type thing, yeah. I'm going to save the film historians for last in this feature list because, boy, do we have a doozy. We have a new 2K restoration from the 35mm interpositive. Don't remake Hitchcock movies. An extensive making of documentary featuring interviews with the cast and crew. That's interesting. The Silence of the Birds, and 17-minute interview with composer Ron Raymond, and The Location of Birds 2, an 11-minute locations featurette with production assistant Craig Edwards. Still gallery, reversible cover artwork, and an audio commentary track with film historians Amanda Reyes and Sam Pancake.
Yeah, well, Amanda Reyes, we all know. She knows her rarely known facts, all the different things about people, what they eat, everything, the whole. Which is
not far off, actually, from her real life.
I know. Bio. I've seen her. She seems to know a lot of very unknown facts. So she's that might have been one of the ones we almost got too spot on. Actually, may have to redo her. But yeah, Sam Pancake, Tim. So I dug a little digging, dug a little info on him, and so basically early in his career, he once tried to have the first ever film review and morning cooking show, and he called it Pancake Breakfast. But after subpar ratings, he recruited his good friend to join him, who happened to be named Dave Waffle. Ratings slightly picked up, and the new show, Pancake and Waffles, was a hit. While the show was hot, they decided to put a topping on the format and brought in an old college friend, Katie Syrup. Unfortunately, the old love triangle resurfaced and the trio parted ways. However, here's a fun fact, though, Tim. The original griddle used in the first season sold at a Christie's auction for $13 and was last seen at the Denny's in Williamsburg, Virginia. So,
well, we should go visit it while we're up there.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was such a perfect timing, because we will be there and we can make sure we go to breakfast there one day and say, we'd like it on the Sam Pancake griddle, please.
Yes. I just made pancakes Sunday. That's a Sunday morning tradition. I don't do it every Sunday, but I try to do it every now and again. And
I remember when we came to visit that time, we made the pumpkin pancakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love. Now Christmas morning, that's a tradition. We always do a big pancake breakfast Christmas morning.
Do you think though? Like, I mean, come on, anyone that knows me knows that pancake thing was.
When I saw it, I started laughing. Like, Brian did not have any clue. I was actually creating the Discmemberment rundown because we work off a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And the minute I copy and pasted that, I started laughing because I just knew Brian was going to take that one and run with it. Like, how could you not?
It's just all too, like, I mean, that's like right on a silver platter or silver dollar. You do that. The thing is, that's like, I had like so much more, and I'm like, I think people would like turn off by this point.
Oh, you have to give Cody a break from having to write all that.
Cody, I may just copy and paste this for you and send it to you in an email so you can just add it to your tome because I don't think you will be able to like recall that without like pausing it 35 times. It was a bit wordy. I apologize.
Oh, okay. Well, next up, moving right along, we have Dead North from 1991. This is from Saturn's Core, which we've had on.
Oh wait, I think this one's mine, right? I'm supposed to read.
Oh, you're right. Yes, you are right. Sorry, Brian. Yeah, I got so caught up in the pancake
monologue of Sam Pancake's career, But anyway, batter up for this one. Okay, now Saturn's Core. In the Dead North, 1991. It says, when three couples escape into the woods together for a weekend camping trip, their idyllic vacation quickly becomes a desperate struggle for survival when a deranged, axe-wielding psychopath begins murdering them one by one. Of course, Meanwhile, half these times these axe murders could really get two at a time, save the time. But then, they want to pad out that movie to 70 plus minutes. An impossible web of I almost said marital infidelities lead to a meandering mosaic of endless red herrings, deranged nom-vets, bitter office rivalries, perilous punji pits.
Yeah, those are like the spike
brown
pits.
Oh, okay. And puffy brown plaid couches. And that's how it ends. What are the ones you're giving me today?
I have no idea.
You planned this. You probably reordered it just so I would get these.
I'm kind of disappointed there's no trailer for this. I want to see those puffy brown plaid couches.
I know, and I want to see the punji pits. So it's got a lot of features on this thing, though. It's an audio commentary with director Gary Whitson, moderated by Ross Snyder, co-director of Mail Order Murder, the story of WAVE Productions. It's because there's dots in between wave. Audio commentary with Richard Moog, author of Analog Nightmares, the shot-on-video horror films of 1982 to 1995. That's got to be like 5,000.
I got to track that book down.
Yeah, that sounds actually really cool of a book. True North, an interview with director and WAVE founder Gary Whitson. Bonus movie, The Pineland Murders. Director Gary Whitson's 2012 feature-length remake of Dead North.
Oh, there you go.
I love when the bonus feature is a remake of the film. Well, how telling is that, though? That you're including the remake on as a bonus. Like, yeah, you know what? I know you really spent a lot of money in this disc. You're probably not going to like this movie. It's probably terrible. So here's my remake for free.
Oh.
Crushed, Gary Whitson 1995 short featuring Dead North stars Nancy McCauley and Avon Warren. Is Crushed the reaction he had when he saw the box office returns for this? No. Lunch Meat Midnight Snack, Dead North Special Edition. A 28-page booklet featuring rare vintage news articles, plus writings by Josh Schaefer, Lunch Meat, Ross Snyder, Saturn's Core, and Gary Whitson, WAVE, and more. It's got a trailer and a reversible sleeve.
Very nice. All right. Well, next up,
Saturn's Core is making a run for it.
Man, the extras for this movie are way. Based on this trailer, I don't understand how this movie has this many extras. We'll put it that way.
Really. Yeah.
Saturn's Core gives us another winner with 16 Tongues from 1999. The lives of an assassin and her hacker girlfriend are shattered when they cross paths with a rogue cop holed up inside an S&M hotel. This whole movie looks like it took place in a closet. I mean, this is one room in this whole trailer.
Yeah, and I said good luck trying to figure out what this one is about by the trailer because it literally makes no sense. But
audio commentary with writer-director Scooter McCrae and producer Alex Kusu.
Yeah, it's close enough.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Audio commentary with writer-director Scooter McCrae, producer Alex Kusu, and production designer Dan Olette. Isolated music track, Fantasia Robust Festival screening featurette, behind-the-scenes bloopers featurette, visual effects breakdown with post-effects supervisor Robert Morris, makeup and costume test featurette, deleted scenes, I See the Dark music video, photo gallery, video introduction to the student films by director Scooter McCrae, DB 16mm student film by Scooter McCrae from 1988 with optional directors.
You have to say his name that way.
Yeah.
It's in the rules of Parker Posey.
Speaking of Parker, I told Anna, I said, it's going to be time to get Parker D. Composey out of the attic soon. And she was like, who? And I was like, Parker D. Composey. And she was like, who are you talking about, Bones? And I was like, what are you talking about, Bones? And she said, his name is Bones. I was like, no, it's not. It's Parker D. Composey. So we're currently battling over the name, but we know what it really is.
Yes, we know. We'll let her have it, but
yeah.
You know it.
This DB 16mm student film by Scooter McCrae with optional director's commentary. Only Hell 16mm student film by Scooter McCrae with optional director's commentary. Trailers, reversible cover art. Bonus movie Saint Frankenstein. Scooter McCrae's award-winning 2015 short film starring Melanie Gatos and Tina Kraus, HD, with optional director's commentary by Scooter McCrae. Yes. Isolated score featuring music by legendary composer Fabio Frizzi, Zombie and the Beyond, and behind-the-scenes still gallery.
Nice. Well, then after that, TerrorVision comes in with an interesting one. Actually, but this is kind of a cool, documentary here. It's Blood, Guts, and Sunshine from 2022. It says explore the independent horror film scene that Florida has been vigorously pumping out since the invention of film. Jam-packed with interviews, exploitation, never-before-seen footage, and cinema madness. Watch and learn about films, new and old, in this exclusive documentary made for cult horror fans. There is some creature stuff in there I saw in the trailer.
I like the interview. This looks like it has a ton of interviews with like various horror personalities. It looks really good.
Yeah. I mean, even though we know the real horror hopefully will be voted out in the midterms, but I'm looking at you, Death Santis. Anyway, there's sorry, get a little political in there, but anyway, Satan's Children's Panel is I guess, I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess the movie Satan's Children I guess has a panel. Special feature. Grindhouse Video Tour, Scott Tepperman's home video store, horror movie trailers made in Florida. So, but yeah, no, all kidding aside, that sounds like a really cool documentary. It looks like a low budget documentary, but still, nevertheless, I love little documentaries on like niche things like that.
Oh yeah,
like specific, like portions of horror, not just like a whole thing. So like I love that, like, you know, the Hail to the Deadites, like stuff like that, like specific pieces of the horror.
Where it looks like, you know, it's low budget because it looks like they just cornered them at a horror con and said, "Hey, will you be in this movie real quick?" And
exactly, like it seems like someone's home movies, and they're like, "Oh shoot, we got to get releases. And then we could just edit it into a documentary." But either way, it looks kind of fun. I definitely want to watch it.
All right, next up from Dark Star Pictures, we have Fair Game, 1986. Crikey!
Yes, and this is not the Billy Baldwin, Cindy Crawford vehicle.
No,
it's another one.
No, this is the Australian.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try to do an Australian accent at this point. A young woman.
This is Crocodile Fair Game.
fair Game. Yeah. Oh, I know I've mentioned on the show before Kevin's Australian yoga teacher character.
Yes, and he needs to come on and do that.
He needs to do that. All right, ladies, let's get down and do the squat koala. All right.
Oh my god. I want to say, oh my god, he's got to come on.
A young woman running a wildlife. Now that we've offended all of Australia.
Yes, and there we go. We actually had some listeners from there.
We did. We don't anymore. They're gone.
Not anymore.
A young woman running a wildlife sanctuary in the. Well, I'm going to keep interrupting myself. I knew a guy from Australia. I used to play on Xbox Online with this guy from Australia. And it was so funny because we would like talk back and forth, like, "What do you think of America?" And his impersonation of an American was, "Get over here, you heifer."
Oh my god!
I don't know what that means.
Why do you sound like that? Remember, like the two dogs that were like solved crimes. Remember with the Clue Club? Come on over here, woofer.
I don't know what that means. Like, who calls? I was like, nobody calls anybody heifer. Like, that's not even a thing. He was like, well, kangaroos and boomerangs isn't a thing. I beg to differ. I've been to an Outback.
I've seen kangaroos and I've seen a boomerang.
I've been to Outback Steakhouse. I know. Yeah. I'm practically an expert on Australia.
Should have just said, and listen, we know Foster's is for beer, mate. You know.
Oh, we used to crack up at the stereotypes. But anyway, a young woman running a wildlife sanctuary in the Australian Outback is in for trouble when she is confronted by 3 kangaroo hunters. Bored with killing roos, they decide to kill the animals in the sanctuary. And when they see how attractive the owner is, they decide to have a little fun with her too. Turns out that they may get a bit more fun than they bargained for. So this is like a Last House on the Left meets Mad Max is what I describe this as.
But like the Aussie narration makes this trailer so good.
Yeah, it's great.
There's a lot of features on this. Wow.
A lot of features. 4K restoration. Audio commentary with director Mario Andreacchio and writer Rob George. Extended interview with actress Cassandra Delaney. Behind the scenes featurette. Storyboard image gallery. Behind the scenes. Classic advertisement and theatrical program image gallery. Short films of Mario Andreacchio. So you got a ton of these. Vandalism from 1981. Break-In from 83. Taken by Storm from 84. Abduction. Who's Next from 84. Under Pressure from 1986. And Dark Star trailers. So that's pretty interesting. If you like your slashers from down under.
Yeah. Okay. So now hang on, because the next batch here.
This is where things get weird.
If
you thought they were weird before.
Yeah. And this one, okay. So first, we're going to start over a release company that we've never had before, and that's the Catalog. And the movie is called KFC, and it was from 2012. And here's the description. Pure evil exists. It lives in Hanoi, in a small house that's been partly converted into an operating theater again, CUM, torture chamber. Here, patients are cut up into bite-sized pieces and posthumously raped by a cannibalistic doctor and his taciturn sidekick. What, descriptive terms? I love taciturn. His fat son now...
Even the synopsis is offensive.
It is. His fat son, now also addicted to the taste of human flesh, befriends the children of a prostitute who fell victim to the deadly doctor. This immoral violence is inevitably passed on to the next generation. A cycle of cruelty is set in motion. Now, let me ask you, the first scene in this, you do see a KFC cup.
Yes.
And I guess that's where they got the thing. Personally, if someone told me a movie, like you know that you hear director stories all the time. Sometimes they just give you a title and say, here.
Yeah, like make a movie, yeah.
Someone gave me that, I would totally make it that an actor playing the Colonel went nuts and started killing everybody.
Oh yeah, it's sort of like that Winnie the Pooh movie that's coming out.
Yeah. I mean, can't you imagine the Colonel walking around that white suit of his,
the
slicing up people?
The lines write themselves, like, I hope you like your face extra crispy.
Yeah.
And he just dumps him in the fryer.
Oh yeah, or then he pours something down his throat and goes, "Here's original recipe, bitch," or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, it's to be so many it really did write itself. But no, they went a different way here. Anyway, yeah. So it's got some trailers. It's got some features on it. It's a mystery meet, an interview with filmmaker Lee Bin Gyang. It's got a theatrical trailer, the Vietnamese trailer, critical essay by Vietnamese journalist Quang Dang, Asian movie pulse interview with filmmaker Lee Bin Gyang. And it feels like there should be more, and it just stops. Usually the trailers are the last two, but yeah. So I don't really know what this movie.
I'm still laughing. At
what his?
Hope you like the original recipe.
Oh yeah. It would be that movie literally could be written in 5 minutes and still be a 70-minute featurette that was
I would pay good money to see that. Oh,
I would too. Yeah.
Next up from
Hope you want a family bucket and yeah.
He chops it with somebody ordered the 8-piece.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That reminds me of when Quentin Tarantino's Grindhouse, where they had the Thanksgiving or whatever. What was the fake movie in there? The Thanksgiving one? White meat, dark meat, all will be carved.
Oh yeah, which was way better than the ones we've seen.
Yes, I wish that movie existed. All right, Vinegar Syndrome's Mutant Hunt from 1987. Z, a cold and vicious genetic scientist, discovers a way to alter harmless human cyborgs into bloodthirsty killing machines, which he plans to use for his own gain. When you look up Full Moon in the dictionary, there's a link to this movie. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, this is so Full Moon, so 80s. It's you don't there are certain film companies, Troma, Full Moon, right off the bat, that when you see the trailer, you know it's that company. Yeah, it's so signature.
Yeah, you don't even need to see. You just literally the first 2 seconds of this movie, I could have said that's a Full Moon movie right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with me. Okay, well, at least you get the winner of this bunch. At least I get a break.
I've got to put the explicit tag on this whole episode.
Yeah, I don't even know how you're going to lead that note. But before that, we have Culture Shock releasing with Devil Rider from 1991. That sounds like a horrible, Six Flags name for a roller coaster, doesn't it?
Yeah, Devil Rider, yeah.
Devil Rider for, some weird, drop tower thing or something. I don't know. Anyway, it says, in this horror western movie, the Devil Rider lives throughout the ages and terrorizes a group of friends on a ranch because it is built on his territory. As the bodies mount up from horrible deaths, is the monster from hell out to gather human flesh? Well, obviously, you just said he did in the first sentence. Anyway, Tim says he loves Western horror, but this may test his limits. I agree. It looks cheesy, but, it looks interesting enough that I think if it was on Tubi, I may give it a watch, but yeah, and they have a VHS cut of the film presented at 1:33:1 ratio. That's weird when you got a VHS cut. You're going backwards.
Yeah.
It's got behind the scene footage, interview with Rick Grote, interview with Tag Grote, A lot of Groats here. Introduction to the film by Bud Fleischer Jr. and a remastered original trailer.
All right, so now we put on our explicit tag warning because I'm not
all children put your ears.
I'm not like if this had been a like if we had more time to edit this episode, I might have put the bleeps in just for fun.
Oh yeah,
but we're just gonna have to come right out and say it. This is from AFG, and we have a double feature of 2 award-winning, in their own minds maybe, movies: Fuck the Devil and Fuck the Devil 2: Return of the Fucker from 1990. Which might be the best sequel like tagline I've ever seen.
Is the third one Meet the Fuckers?
Yeah. I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me? An evil spirit trapped. There's people right now going, "What in the hell is going on?"
I know. What is wrong with these two?
An evil spirit trapped in an Evil Dead 2 VHS tape possess a young boy, sending him on a gory killing rampage. You got to go watch the trailers for this. It looks like in 1990, 2 German high schoolers made the worst senior film class project of all time, and they stuck it on Blu-ray. That's what it looks like. This, when we say low budget, like this is
beyond low.
This is
budget,
beyond. This is like literally.
I think they still owe on this film.
I had to do I literally had to do a film project as a senior, and we did a Star Trek parody. We even had the Enterprise going across the space and everything. We had to do a Star Trek parody to learn about the planets, and I swear it looked better quality than this. And that was not too far off. It was like 92. So, this is bad. This one has way more extras than it deserves. Preserved from the original VHS masters, German language, German and English subtitles. Fuck the Devil 2022 director's cut and original 1990 cut. The director's cut is 29 minutes, and the original cut is 35 minutes.
Yeah. He took out 6 minutes of his own film. It's that bad.
It gets even worse with Fuck the Devil 2. The director's cut is 29 minutes, and the original cut is 40 minutes.
What's his obsession with 29 minutes?
I don't know.
And also I forgot to say though that you got to watch the trailer only because it sounds like a completely drug-riddled Arnold Schwarzenegger describing it. And he keeps going. Well, the way he keeps yelling is like, "Fuck the devil." We's not a tumor at all. I like nuked food. It's like
if
lyric, but
it
it's
bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah, picture the Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is one of the best people in the world there, and just and he was somehow someone slipped drugs on him, and he gave
he had his wisdom teeth removed or something.
Yeah, exactly. He's in pain, and he's doing this it's totally against his will. That's what it sounds like.
Video introduction by director Mike. We're trashing this film we've never seen. I feel bad.
I know.
Video introduction by director Michael Poklesner. Commentary on director's cuts with director Michael Poklesner and actor Kurt Darch. Outtakes, shorts, trailers, booklet with vintage artwork, stills and writing by AGFA and Bleeding Skulls Joseph A. Ziemba, uncensored reverse cover art. This film might be absolutely brilliant. I have no idea, but...
Wait a minute. The 1990 and it's vintage?
Oh, yeah. I'm definitely vintage now.
Yeah.
I love when the kids talk about stuff back in the 80s and like Joshua, when he describes anything old, I mean, it might be something from the 30s, and he'll go, "Gosh, that looks like it was made back in the 80s." And I'm like, "Joshua, that was made in the 30s, dude. That was even before your grandma was born." But yeah, so I feel old. That's the moral of that story.
Tim, body don't jiggle. It's old.
It's old for sure.
You gotta see that. That's what she does. She yells at the screen and goes, "It's old."
I gotta look that up. I forgot. We also had a reissue this week of Zombie and Zombieland Double Tap. They're coming out in steelbook form. 2 great movies. Those are great. I love both.
I think every 10 years they need to come out with one.
Definitely. I will be sorely disappointed if they don't do a zombie triple tap or something into.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to our pick of the week, which Brian's going to take, and I have a real interest in this one because I was recently, when I say recently, in the past several months, I was on a Film Threat live show they did on YouTube, and they brought on the guy that Jimmy Hunt, who played the kid in this movie. They brought him on to the live show, live YouTube stream, and he talked about making this movie. And they also had an interview with the guy that was behind this complete remaster for Ignite Films. So he like hunted down all that. I mean, he had to go all over the world piecing together prints of this movie to put together the final remaster of this. So when you hear this, and you might look at it and go, oh, it's just another 4K remaster of some old movie. There was a lot of care and a lot of work put into this. This is a really, really cool and interesting, fascinating background behind this one. So I would definitely pay closer attention to this than you would in like a normal remaster, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, now that
I've hyped it up for you.
Yeah, now that I hyped it out. It's Invader from Mars 4K from 1953, not the remake. And it's one night, young David McClane sees a spaceship crash into a nearby sandpit. His father goes to investigate, but comes back changed. Where once he was a cheerful and affectionate, he is now sullen and snarlingly rude. Others fall into the sandpit and begin acting like him, cold, ill-tempered, and conspiratorial. David knows that aliens are taking over the bodies of humans, but he'll soon discover there have been far more of these terrible thefts than he could have imagined. The young doommonger finds some serious help in a lady doctor and a brilliant astronomer. Soon, they meet the aliens, green creatures with insect-like eyes. These beings prove to be slaves to their leader, a large silent head with ceasingly shifting eyes and 2 tentacles on either side, each of which branches off into 3 smaller tentacles. It's up to the Redoubtable Earth trio to stop its evil plans.
Yeah.
So this was always a big class. Oh, you know what? I see there's a film enthusiast.
Yeah, it was a little. I was not technically a historian, so technically they shouldn't.
Yeah, I did quickly look up something about him, though. I'll tell you him in a second.
Okay.
But on the fly, I looked him up. Interviews with star Jimmy Hunt, William Cameron, Menzies biographer James Curtis, and recollections of Menzies' eldest granddaughters, Pamela Lawson, I guess.
Yeah.
Lawson, but it's like spelled weird. But anyway, featurette with acclaimed directors John Landis, Joe Dante, editor Mark Goldblatt, special visual effects artist, and 2-time Oscar winner Robert Skotak, foremost expert on Invader from Mars, an enthusiast and film preservationist Scott McQueen. And realize that's really not his name. It's just he was kind of like talking about. He kept like trying to introduce his girlfriend to the people that were doing this, and he kept going, this is McQueen. And so they thought that was his name. Sorry, that was terrible. But that's what happens when I go on the fly and I don't research. Anyway, John Sayles' introduction at Turner Classic Movie Festival in Hollywood, April 22, special feature. After clips of restoration, original negative, and archival film elements with film restoration supervisor Scott McQueen. He's back. Oh, wait. He was like a film restoration supervisor, and then he's an enthusiast.
He's a man of many hats.
He's a Mac of all trades. Get it, Mac Queen? Okay. Restored. I made up for my terrible one before. Restored segments in 2K, the alternate international version, alternate ending, an extended planetarium scene. Gallery with original press book pages. Behind-the-scenes photos from the restoration process, restored 4K original 1953 trailer, and newly commissioned trailer from 2022, and 20-page extensive essay. It's an extensive essay on the restoration process. Invaders from Mars, a nightmare restoration by Scott McQueen.
I think Scott McQueen is the guy that was on the live stream with us.
Oh, see, now I feel bad. I came up with such a horrible thing for him.
They were offering. I don't know if they still have it. They were all, and I almost ordered it. I came so close, but it was like $65, and I was at the time I was like, I don't want to spend that for a Blu-ray. But they did offer a limited edition of this that was like autographed by Jimmy Hunt, which I thought was really cool. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it was probably worth it because it wasn't crazy unreasonable, but at the time I was like, I couldn't justify it. But if those are still out there, you might want to grab them. There was a. You have to look it up. I didn't look it up for the show, but there was a website featuring this particular remaster. So just kind of Google Ignite Films and this remaster. I'm sure you'll be able to find it. They may have some of the autographed copies still available. So yeah, that one looks really, really cool. All right, so to recap, September 27th, we had The Munsters, the 2022 version, Evil Dead 4K from 2013, I Know What You Did Last Summer 4K from 97, Blood of the Chupacabras / Revenge of the Chupacabras from 2003-2005, The Incredible Melting Man 4K from 77. Sator from 2019. The Birds 2, Lands End from 1994. Dead North from 1991. 16 Tongues from 1999. Blood, Guts, and Sunshine, which is a documentary, 2022. Fair Game from 1986. KFC from 2012. Mutant Hunt, Full Moon Productions, 1987. Devil Rider from 1991. And probably the best title of the week, Fuck the Devil and Fuck the Devil 2, Return of the Fucker from 1990. And our pick of the week.
This sounds like something they would, like, Jay and Silent Bob would make up.
Yeah. We definitely, who knows? That was not our pick of the week. Our pick of the week here is Invaders from Mars 4K. Fantastic restoration. Beautiful restoration from 1953, not the Toby Hooper remake.
And the trailer shows the trailer is for the 4K version that I put on there, and it actually looks like really good.
It looks amazing. They showed clips of it during the live stream thing. It looks fantastic. So that's it for September. I don't know what October is going to look like. I haven't even looked ahead that far yet, although I got to get that Discmemberment up and running because that's going to be before we know it. I already know there's
some good things that I was like already looking up. Like I know that Paranormal Activity set, which now I found out I'm going to have to double dip on because it's the only way to get Next of Kin on Blu-ray.
Oh.
And it also has another bonus movie, like a documentary, something about the whole franchise thing or something like that. But
I did see their documentary about that was out.
Yeah, so I may have to double dip on that and get that big set. But I may not jump at it right away. I may keep an eye on it because I know it'll go on. That's something I could see going on sale around the holidays.
Well, that's good because I haven't bought that set yet. So
because I know you don't really even like the franchise that much.
I know.
The funniest thing is the one you like, one of the best ones, is the one that like is exclusive to that set. So at least you'll get something out of it.
No, I mean I'd still like to own them though. I think it's still a worthy franchise to own, and I like a couple of them. So
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you back here soon. Now, we'll mention we will not have a normal episode next week because, of course, we're going to Busch Gardens, so we're doing a lot of travel and stuff during that time, which is going to mess up our recording plans. But we're thinking of we'll probably film some stuff at Busch Gardens and record some stuff, and we'll also have possibly like a review trip recap episode next week. We'll kind of maybe do like a mini-sode type thing. So you should be getting the preview episode on this Friday. Yeah, we're hearing this in a couple of days. The day we're leaving for there, we're not going there until Saturday and Sunday. but Friday we're doing our travel to there. So Julie and our plans I think are to stop in a different area of Virginia to check out one of our favorite places, and then. We'll meet up with Tim and family in the morning for the first day of Howl-O-Scream. And it looks like the weather we were talking about last time, the weather seems to have shifted in our favor. It looks to be very nice and warm during the day, and then nice little chill at night, which is, oh my God, I'm so excited for that weather. Yeah. If it plays out the way it's supposed to be, because nothing like a haunt with like that crisp weather out, fall weather coming in. I love it. Good. All right, guys, we'll see you here soon. Keep an eye on our social media to figure out when our contest. Yeah, for our contest and for when the different episodes will drop over the next couple of weeks. Yes. We'll see you soon. Yep.